This has been a great business for me, and I've loved it dearly. It's something that if somebody's good at something, you do a lot of it, and you try to do as much as you can very well. I've competed in 8 competitions. I've won 7 of them, came in second on the 8th. I became a national name within the circuit, and then within people that wanted to entertain, I was one of the first they would call. There are selected gentlemen throughout, the United States that are very good at impersonating Elvis. I don't stand alone in that capacity. However, I am one of the best out there. The whole evolution of Elvis in the 50s, Elvis in the movies, Elvis in the Army, the leather, and then of course the concert years. All of these changes were done within a 90-second period of time backstage. The band's still playing, so there was no lull in the show. There's no way I could do now what I did then. Simply said. There's absolutely no way I could put my body in those positions at that speed with being that spontaneous. There's no way. On stage, I have monsters, and they're big, in my head. What worst scenario could you possibly, you're in a tight jumpsuit with one leg and 60 to 100 to 200 lights on you, and then you got a 1200 watt spotlight on you, and you've got hundreds, sometimes thousands of people watching you. What worse monster could you have in your head saying, I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm an amputee now? My performance level with the sea leg has been phenomenal, actually. At the time of transition for me to make the decision to amputate, it was a very scary time. Obviously, the level of performance and what I was doing, as an Elvis impersonator, one would think, Elvis and legs are, really key tools to have. The transition into realizing that I could get back to the stage by the use of the sea leg was wonderful news. And it was just a process of learning. The decision to amputate was very difficult. This wasn't a matter of deciding I wanted this type of penicillin to get over the cold or that type of penicillin. It was a decision to remove a significant part of my body. It's just not a natural question for somebody to deal with. It's not a natural answer to have to come up with. But I had to come up with it. At that point, I had gone through so much pain, so much ups and downs. I hadn't been out of bed for almost 2 months, a good 5 weeks. I was really looking to get out of that bed. And at that point, as an intelligent person would think, as I did, I wanted to start thinking about my life as an amputee. The first thing for me was to make life normal for me. And I tell people that are going through this that you have to create for yourself life that you call normal. You allot your time. Everything else is repetition. You do it every day. I do it twice, 3 times, 4 times a day sometimes. Most people have to do it twice. It's the repetitious side of doing that that'll make it normal. The pain when on stage is unique to the situation. You're encapsulated. My limb is encapsulated in plastic, and it's not ventable or breathable, so it's very warm. Aside from maybe some rash, some chafed areas up and around the groin area that are characteristic of having foreign objects close to your skin in very intimate locations. It does take a lot more endurance. It does take a lot more energy. You do expend a lot more energy. Just walking, it's a known clinical fact that you use 300 times more energy walking than a normal person does. with no knee joints.
So there's a lot of things against, me in that environment that I spend so much time in, and any type of tripping or any type of catching my heel. I mean, I wear a 2-inch concert heel as well, so it allows me in my moments where I might trip up. The stance control really kicks in and it stabilizes. I'm able to go down low and to kneel, and it just really allows me a lot of trust in the wear. So in regards to what other knee joints would offer me, I'm definitely feeling that this is the right path that I'm on.
I have learned so much about myself in 2 years. I've never been more driven. Walking down the stairs, learning how to walk again. Nobody, as far as I know, remembers their first steps. I do. At 32 years old, I remembered my first steps.
The knee fell apart, the top of the tibia shaft fell apart again. By all means, there was not enough time for any of the bone to heal. And at that point, they said to me, as great as we thought before, we've got to make a decision. We're at a crossroad here. I'm thinking my career is over, even if I had to go back and give up the performing. My career as a chef is extremely compromised. Myself as an entertainer, that which I loved for so many years, it brought me all over the world. That is over. What am I going to do? You need to know, and I'm here to tell you guys, that your work on a daily basis, the frustrations that you feel, they are worth it. And I'm why. And it's really important just to say thank you, guys. And I don't know you that well. I don't know you at all. But I'm here to tell you that what I do know of you guys and the role that you played in my life was as intimate as it could get. You saw the ugly of me, and the therapists that worked with me may have seen some of my shows and saw well, I don't know if you think that's beautiful, but the beauty of me.
Be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds, if you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Now if we spend the day throwing stones at one another, Cause I don't think or wear my hair same way you do. And though I may be common people, well, I'm your brother. And when you strike out and try to hurt me, it's hurting you. Lord have mercy, walk a mile in my shoes. Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.